Peace World, and welcome to Foundation Radio. My name is Adam Barnard. Thank you again so much for joining me today. Today, you're listening to the official SummerSlam 2024 preview show, and my guests are here today. To my right, he is the host of Unlikely and once used the same restroom as Rey Mysterio. He was using a different stall than him, obviously, as it was a communal restroom, but the facts remain that both of them peed moments apart. He and Rey did wash their hands, according to the man who gave us this information, Mr. Adrian Hernandez. How are you, sir?
Yes, everything that you just detailed is accurate to the best of my knowledge. And as always, it's a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me, sir.
Absolutely. Right underneath me here, originating from Boston, but soon to be Brooklyn-bound, the hometown of his spiritual father, Captain America, standing in an absolutely astonishing 6 feet, 4 3/4 inches tall, representing comic book, Fit Factory, and Prime Hydration, the man with the best shoe game in all of media, the long and lean content machine, Liam Crowley. How are you, sir?
I'm fantastic after that intro, that's for sure. Prime Hydration, not official, not an actual sponsor, but hey, man, we're manifesting it into existence every single day.
Listen, man, the three of us have manifested a lot in the past year. I want to congratulate Adrian on 25,000 subscribers on his YouTube channel, by the way. I want to say that at the top of the program. And I also want to congratulate you, Liam, for going viral with your Robert Downey Jr. tweet regarding pro wrestling. I think you're just about breaking 1 million impressions on that. So well done, sir. A tip of the cap to both of you, gentlemen.
Well, thank you. Also, let's shout out Adrian specifically with the fact that the 25K, weren't you at 15 like 2 months ago?
I hit 15 right before Money in the Bank or WrestleMania. I don't know. I think at WrestleMania it was at 10K.
Wow.
So you do the math. It's been pretty crazy.
Snowballing. That's awesome.
Man, I love it so much. I love seeing everybody succeed here.
Thank you.
And speaking of succeeding, I have a surprise for you guys. You can see right underneath Adrian here, there's an extra box missing. And that's our fourth guest today, the fourth horseman that's joining us. He is a world champion powerlifter, wrestling interview, the #1 Homo sapien, and the guy who will beat AJ Francis on August 24th in Brooklyn, New York. MuscleManMalcolm is in the fucking house. How are you, sir?
What's good?
What's going on, man?
Yo!
How's it be?
Thank you for joining us, sir. We appreciate you having you here in this full house. And we are here in the place to be talking about the big event coming up on Saturday, SummerSlam from Cleveland, Ohio. We're going to get right into this. We're going to run down the match card here. First at the top of the list, Damian Priest is defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Gunther. In my opinion, I think Gunther's going to beat the crap in a very decisive victory over Damian Priest. And I want to open up the floor to you guys and see what y'all think of Damian Priest versus the Ring General. Adrian, what are your thoughts, brother?
As the Puerto Rican, I guess I do have to go first just to make sure I get my things boxed in. So first and foremost, Malcolm, what up? Adam, you teased a very wonderful surprise, and you delivered 100%. Hopefully SummerSlam delivers us a lot of surprises. My pick might be a surprise. I think Damian's going to win. I think that in this era of Triple H, this event is very important in terms of how he is the storytelling aspect, I guess I should say. It's a lot of saving it for big moments and big events like SummerSlam, as opposed to making decisions at a Money in the Bank or other pay-per-views or on regular TV. But I think that they're building up Damian, obviously, this weekend. I think the WWE 24 comes out on Peacock. I know that they're doing the premiere in the show in Cleveland before SummerSlam, but you don't do all these things to then have someone lose. In the media that he's been doing, some of the stuff like that. Puerto Rico obviously plays a huge part to Damian. Cleveland actually has the second most Puerto Ricans other than New York in the country, which is a crazy fact. So hopefully they represent and make the crowd a little bit crazy, because obviously everyone's expecting Gunther. But I don't think, even if they do make the decision to give it to Gunther, why don't you just hold off a couple weeks for Bash in Berlin? So I'll go with Damian winning, whether it's shenanigans or not. I think he pulls out the victory. And I just hope, this match is a clean match, because there's always been something that's happened in all of these matches. Obviously, the missed 3 count, the rope issue. So yeah, hopefully it's a clean bout, whatever happens.
Now, Malcolm, I want to kind of piggyback off of that, because I feel like, in my mind, I really always want to see a decisive win for anybody, whether it's the champion or it's the challenger. I know there's been a lot of talk about Gaga that potentially might be happening with Finn Balor in the Judgment Day. Where do you sit on this, and where do you think this match is going to go?
Yeah, Adrian made a lot of great points, but I'm just going to say Gunther because I just want Gunther to win. I don't have a real answer, honestly. I think he gave such a good answer that I'm like, yeah, honestly, Damian probably should win. But I just want Gunther because I just like him.
Yeah.
That's the best analytical answer you're going to get out of me. I just like him. So Gunther.
Hey, man, I'm about it. I appreciate your honesty, sir. Thank you. Liam, where do you stand on this?
I'm pretty torn because I understand Gunther is leaving this feud with the title. I think it's just a matter of when, not if. And Bash at Berlin is such an easy hometown, home country. I mean, I know he's Austrian, but still, Germany, Austria, there's connective tissue there. Like, he will have hometown people in that crowd. It's so easy to crown him there, right. But in doing so, you either have to have a shenanigans finish, like a DQ or a count out, or Gunther gets pinned right before that, which, to my knowledge, he's only been pinned on the main roster once, and that was at WrestleMania by Sami Zayn, and that was honestly to just kind of bump him up the card. So I want Gunther to win the title. Part of me wishes they save the moment for Bash in Berlin, and if we have to do that, I just hope he doesn't get pinned in the process. So I'm going to say, you know what? No, screw it. I'm going to say he wins at SummerSlam because I think Cody retains, and I think you want to have at least one big title change on the show. And we'll go Gunther leave SummerSlam with the gold.
Ooh, that's what I'm thinking too. And again, to your point, Liam, I really feel like it's important to protect Gunther and the way that they've been building him up. As much as I like Damian Priest and I enjoy what he's been doing and how they've been elevating the character, I think having someone decisively beat Gunther feels like it's more important, right? Like if you look at Sami Zayn in the Intercontinental Championship, he's been so impactful because he had that big win over Gunther. He was the guy that dethroned him. So I think if we're going to do this and you're going to build him up, you're going to send him into Berlin, why not let him walk in his hometown as champion? Now, whoever it is that's going to face him is obviously going to lose. We know that kind of going into it. So maybe this is the time to get that big pop. The other big pop that I know Malcolm is looking forward to is the greatest of all time, I think, WWE Women's Champion Bayley is fighting and defending her title against Queen of the Ring, Nia Jax. Malcolm, I'm going to start.
Bailey.
That's right. I was going to say BBL Bailey. Shout out to Sir Wilkins from the Jalbert Tears podcast. I don't think he's recovered from that. Honestly, every time I talk to him, I don't think he's recovered. But Malcolm, where do you stand here on Bailey and Nia Jax? Where do you see this going? Tell me your thoughts.
Yeah, I mean, Nia Jax has to win this. I mean, as much as I love Bailey, for every reason that we can talk about off camera, I think Nia wins. It has to be Nia. I think it's her time. She got the queen crown. It's really her time. She really should have won that Women's World Championship during Elimination Chamber, but I know Rhea had all the momentum going her way. They're in her home country. I get it. But this is definitely her time. She should be winning it, and I think her as champion works for her character better than Bailey currently with her character as champion.
I agree with that a little bit. I feel like Bailey's title reign has run a little flat recently, and they've portrayed her as really dominant, Nia Jax. She's been a very dominant force in the women's division. I feel Nia Jax is going to pull this win off, and again, much like Gunther, I feel like it's going to be decisive. Where do you stand on that?
I think there might be shenanigans where Bailey kind of walks away, where maybe Tiffany tries to cash it in. Maybe Becky Lynch returns and stops them and starts a feud with, I don't know. It's just, remember what I said with the first thing that you asked me about the storytelling aspect and the components. Like, these are one of the faults, right?
Yeah.
Gunther and Nia Jax winning King and Queen of the Ring. That feels like that was 5 months ago. Yeah. And they've kind of put them in this placeholder that, no, we know that it's going to happen at SummerSlam. I will say that the little picture-in-picture that they had, Bailey and Nia, that fell flat to me. Nia has been on an incredible run. To Malcolm's point, this should have felt like when the Hall of Pain, Mark Henry type, just beating everyone's ass. Yeah. And that momentum's kind of it's just halted a little bit. So I don't know. But if I have to make a pick right now, I think there's going to be shenanigans, whether that's Tiffany cashing in. But I think Bailey retains it at SummerSlam.
Liam, where are you at on this? Where you thinking we're going?
I'm feeling Nia Jax gets the win, and I hate to say it, but just Bailey's run has just not hit for me. And she's a great performer. I just don't think the booking has been very well. I think they've turned her into this kind of one-dimensional babyface, which she should never be. Right. Even when she's a good guy again, she should feel like that kind of anti-hero with some of her heel flair interwoven in there. And I feel like they've put her in a position that isn't yielding a lot of success. And honestly, too, we talk about the Tiffany Stratton variable. I would like for them to do what I wish they did with Judgment Day last year, which was I wanted to see Finn Balor beat Seth Rollins at SummerSlam and then have the dynamic of your faction has the title and the Money in the Bank briefcase, and how do those tensions work out? Like, you know, Damian Priest constantly wanting that title from Finn, but knowing he doesn't want to screw over his boy. I think they could do that this time around by crowning Nia Jax as champion and having her and Tiffany Stratton be like this like pseudo tag team and constantly just playing up the tensions of like, when is Tiffany going to screw over her best friend and cash in on her? And I think that will come eventually, and you'll make Tiffany into like this like dastardly heel, or even, you know, she could go babyface from that, because I don't think they're turning Nia Jax face anytime soon. So I think there's a lot more cool storyline implications by crowning Nia Jax, and hopefully Bayley can get her edge back after that too.
Yeah, I mean, like you said,
the women's division for SmackDown is like, listen, it's a tough situation when it's a 90-minute show, but like Jade and Bianca, obviously they lose the tag titles, but that seems like it was halted. Yeah. Naomi and whatever she's doing, like, it just seems no one's getting enough time, and there's a lot of talent there. So it's kind of just, it's frustrating as we're talking about it, because there are so many different variables and ways that they can go at it, just like Liam brought up a couple with Bayley's character, and it just seems that we never get that. So it's a little frustrating, because Nia also was like on the run of her life, and it seems like it's been halted, and there's no reason for that.
Yeah, you're right. I agree with that. I think it's almost like with a lot of folks too. It's specifically the women's division, but I felt that way with like Jey Uso. I felt that way even with LA Knight. There's a lot of folks who feel like they're ready for the next step and they're ready to do something big. But because the talent pool is so big and there's so many people that are like in line, if you will, right? They have so many stories and so many things going on. It's kind of like, well, how much longer can you wait to put the strap on Jey Uso before he fizzles out, right? How much longer do you wait with Bianca and Jade before they kind of fizzle out again? It's, you know what I mean? It's like, it's very complicated. But to Liam's point too, you're right. I feel like with Bayley, there was an opportunity there that they could have done something really cool with Damage Control, right? If Tiffany Stratton wasn't going to win the briefcase, maybe give it to Kairi Sane, maybe give it to Asuka or somebody else, right? Create that dynamic that you were talking about as far as what I think for sure they should have done with the Judgment Day. Because I think that story between Damian and Finn is way more in-depth than potentially Damian and Gunther is going to give us. And I think there's a lot of dynamic there. So I'm hoping that they're really able to pull that out of the tailspin and make something work with it. What I also think could work here, and I'm not sure if I'm really fully sold on the storyline yet, but it is fascinating because of the people that are involved, so I'm sticking around with it. It's Liv Morgan defending the Women's World Championship against Rhea Ripley. And Liam, I'm going to start with you here. What's your take on this? Has the storyline fallen flat for you, and who do you think is coming out champion?
Adam, why is this not a custody of Dominic ladder match? It's right there. There has never been a more perfect and natural way to resurrect like a memeable moments into modern wrestling. Like this, if they don't want to do it for this match, fine. But at some point down the line, the blow-off match between Rhea and Liv should be a custody of Dominic ladder match. And I'm being 100% serious. Liv should leave SummerSlam with the title only because of the fact that I want the feud to continue. I feel like it doesn't continue otherwise.
Oh man!
You know the worst part about that photo, Adrian, is Dominic's mustache.
It really is. It's so off-putting.
I want, and that's the genius of Dominic Mysterio, because I really want to cheer him at this point. I really do. And the only thing holding me back is that awful mustache and the mullet, the length that the mullet has gotten to. It's the one thing holding him back. I like the feud. I think it's been fun to have a feud that goes beyond, I just want to beat you for your title. Like, I feel like other wrestling companies currently fall into that issue too often, where the feud is just like the title and who's a better wrestler. And it's fun to have some soap opera stuff interwoven. You know, I rarely catch Raw or SmackDown live just because I don't have cable. And when I watch the clips the next day on YouTube, Rhea, Liv, and Dominic are usually among the first I put on. And that's just because the storyline's so good. So if it wasn't for what we think that this show is going to close with that, you know, being a Roman Reigns return, I genuinely think Rhea and Liv should main event this show.
Adrian, what's your thoughts on this? Where do you stand? And I also want to point out as well, there's been dialogue and conversation about a potential Dirty Dom heel turn on Rhea. What do you think about all that, Adrian?
I just think that's the way that they've been going at it. As the fat boy here in the chat, when someone brings you 50 nuggets, you just kind of fall in love. And that's kind of what Liv did to Dom. And it's the path that we're going. And sometimes, like, it's just because we know it's going to happen doesn't make it a bad thing. So they should go with this story. I actually do find it, like, the component of Rhea making Liv, or getting both of them hurting each other, like, and making them both miss time, just adding on to some of the soap opera-ness of it, the novella aspect of it, as I'd like to call it. But no, I think that ends up happening. Dom screws over Rhea, breaks her heart, goes with Liv, and off we go, headed to Bad Blood, Hell in the Cell, because to Liam's point, this good main event. This has gotten the attention, and it just every week has elevated itself.
Malcolm, where are you at on this?
Yeah, my points are very similar to what's already been said. I think this is like WrestleMania kind of ends feuds, and SummerSlam also kind of ends feuds as well. I feel like SummerSlam this year is like starting up a bunch of new feuds. I feel like this is leading into Bad Blood. I don't know if it main events exactly, because you got Drew and Punk that probably could as well. But this is definitely going to be a Hell in a Cell. Liv definitely wins. And I keep thinking about McNuggets now. Right. So now I'm just getting really hungry. But
yeah, she went Wendy's. She went Wendy's, though. You could tell because they were thicker in the breading. And there's always this conversation. I feel like Wendy's is always talked about as, like, the best nuggets via chain, because a lot of people like the spicy nuggets. Yeah. The only thing is that there wasn't any sauce, which is like, that's criminal behavior.
That's a sacrilege. That's a sacrilege.
But anyway,
Wendy's has bad nuggets. Personally, they're okay. This is Paul's moment, but they're hella juicy, and I don't like it.
So how are McDonald's ones? How do they taste to you?
They taste like rat meat.
Yeah. So what are your favorite? So what are your favorite nuggets?
McDonald's.
Really, over Wendy's?
Yeah. Or you can go Chick-fil-A, but like it's like if you're feeling a little bougie, I guess. But like McDonald's. I'm a basic.
So how do you guys feel about like how Burger King, like they like, here's 16 nuggets for $1.39? I'm like, hold on.
Why are you giving so much away?
I'm never that desperate to go to Burger King.
No.
I
$1.89 for a 20-piece. I'm like, hold on a second.
In today's economy, I don't care if it's $2 for 20. Good Lord, bring me 3 orders.
Save some of that shit for later. No, I dig it, man. Now I'm a Wendy's nugget guy myself. McDonald's feels like I'm eating breaded cardboard.
Hell
so
yeah.
Not a. I mean, if I when I used to drink, it was fun, but now it's like I want to taste something a little bit more elevated. You know,
if you're eating fast food, you might as well be really unhealthy. Like you might as well go for it.
A fair point, sir. Fair point to you, sir. Next match that I have here on my docket is Logan Paul defending the WWE United States Championship against Los Angeles Knight. Liam, you put your hands on your face there. Let's start with you, because I'm ready to fucking. My wife hates this phrase when I say it, but I'm ready for them to put the rocket on LA Knight and send him to the fucking moon. So, what are your thoughts, man?
It's like making me pick a favorite child, Adam. I can't do this. I don't like. I love my guy. I love Logan Paul. I love what he has done for the U.S. title. I think he's the greatest champion since John Cena. The amount of attention he's brought on that championship is unprecedented. And also, he genuinely cares. Like, let me emphasize that. He cares about pro wrestling. My evidence for this, a couple days ago, was Triple H's birthday. I go on Logan Paul's Instagram story. Happy birthday to the best boss, Triple H. 4 minutes later, oh, by the way, happy birthday, Mom, as well. He shouted out Triple H on his birthday before his dang mother. That's how much this guy loves pro wrestling. But LA Knight, man, we've been waiting for too long we talk about, capitalizing on momentum. We were at SummerSlam last year, and, it was great to have him get that Slim Jim Battle Royal win, but we know he's meant for more than that. We know he's meant for gold. I'm not ready for the Logan Paul U.S. title reign to end, but I am ready for LA Knight to get some gold. It's in Cleveland, which is his hometown, and he's definitely going to have like a crazy Cleveland entourage come to the ring with him. Don't make me choose. I'm just going to sit back and enjoy the match. I'm not choosing. I'm not doing it.
All right, Malcolm, where are you at? Who do you think is walking out of there as United States champion? Oh, jeez.
Logan. Yeah, Logan, 100%. He's Logan Paul. I mean, he's like a god amongst men. Have you seen like how he looks? Amazing. Have you seen him box? That's a little mid. But like, have you seen him? Amazing. He said he's going to bring Mr. Cleveland with him. Now Jake is going to be in Paris, so that's probably.
I'll be there. I will be there.
I mean, yeah,
I haven't been approached.
Oh, okay, work. I figured it would be you, but just ruling out just for this situation. It could be Machine Gun Kelly. Now, personally, he's kind of meh, but it also LeBron's in Paris, isn't he? It's gonna be Machine Gun Kelly, isn't it?
Who the hell wants to see Machine Gun Kelly?
I mean, I don't care. I mean,
I like MGK.
Sure,
well, he might be.
Paul.
For the record, him and Jelly Roll just came out with a single on Friday, and Jelly Roll's gonna be performing for sure.
That's true.
So he might pull double duty. He might do the song
Yeah.
because they're pushing that as a single, and then come out and get revenge. But then there's Kevin Owens' revenge that he needs when he got tossed off the stage on that Raw. He got thrown through the stage. So
Forgot about that.
Yeah, Adrian, where are you at, man? Help me. Help redeem me here. Where are you at, sir?
Well, I also want to figure this out too, because Malcolm's on the thing, like who's Mr. Cleveland. He just said it. Jake's not going to be there. LeBron's not going to be there. We don't know where Steve Harvey's going to be. He said Mr. Cleveland, so Halle Berry's out of the picture. Drew Carey, I don't know where he would be. And after that, the Russo brothers, I think that'd be a little too inside. Yeah. I know they just made the announcements with Comic-Con, so we're not sure. But I think it needs to go to LA Knight. Again, the storytelling aspects, the fact that he's only defended the title twice, and it's like the longest reign on the roster right now. Like, it doesn't need to be that necessarily.
Right.
Like, it doesn't need to be that. We're talking about all these guys. Jey Uso, it's been a year. LA Knight, it's been a year. Gunther, it's been a year. Nia Jax, it's been a year. There's like all these people that like we're waiting on. Just give it to LA Knight. Why not? Because if LA Knight loses over shenanigans,
right,
it's like, bro, we've been waiting for the longest time for this to happen. And it always made sense.
What is look at these guys. Look at these guys below us here. This is crazy.
Building Legos with his Prime bottles. What is this?
I got the same setup too. I just bought the case of the UFC ones.
Oh God. James just bought some of the WWE Prime when we were on the way out to your to Lance's match last night.
Looking for that.
It was I wish I would have known. I'll grab you some next time I'm there so I can dump it out in front of you when LA Knight wins. And with I'll put it. You know what I'll do is I'll take the Prime and I'll put it into a bag with McDonald's nuggets and really let it like get mushy, and then you can just
that is how they create the chicken for the nuggets. That's exactly what they do. Anyway,
I'm gonna go puke and I'll be right back. So the next match here, Sami Zayn defending the Intercontinental Championship against Braun Breaker. I know where I'm sitting on this. Malcolm, let's start with you. What do you think the outcome in this match is going to be? And where do you see it going? Of course you can.
Who gives a fuck? I don't care about this match.
Really?
At all. Like, I don't care at all.
Why?
I don't care. If Braun wins, that's cool. Like, he probably should have won already. If Sami wins, cool. I kind of expecting Sami Zayn to honestly win this. Braun just doesn't feel like the guy anymore to beat Sami Zayn. Will he? Probably, and that's okay. But at this point, I just don't care. They ruined it at Money in the Bank. Braun should have won then. I love Sami as champion. Nothing against Sami as champion, but it's over for me. It's over for me.
Does anybody in the chat here give a fuck about the match besides me? Does anybody care?
You know, now that you mention it, I don't really. I was so invested going into Money in the Bank, and I did not agree with the decision to have Braun lose that match. I thought afterwards they made it like I appreciate that they got his loss out of the way, because I think undefeated streaks in pro wrestling are such a booking into a corner, and then they have to start losing by count out and DQ because you don't want them to get pinned. So I was happy that they got it out of the way, and it was like a lesson to Braun, so to speak. But you can't beat him twice in a row. And so like having him come out to SummerSlam just to lose again, I think would be wrong. But at the same time, Triple H doesn't like to do a lot of title changes on one pay-per-view.
Right.
And right now we've already kind of collectively predicted Nia Jax, Gunther, and LA Knight. Like, we're going to have 4 title changes in one show. Seems like a lot.
Or continued shenanigans, which isn't a good, like, you're backing yourself in the corner.
Right. Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about, is too much shenanigans here. You know what I mean? Because if we're going to have Gaga with Liv Morgan, we're going to have bullshit with Damian Priest, we're going to have nonsense with Logan Paul. how many times can you go back to that well? And especially maybe with the main event as well, which we'll get to. How many times can you keep doing that before the fans are like, well, fuck this, I don't even want to watch anymore? You know, Adrian, where do you sit on this?
I think Braun's going to win. I mean, whatever. Make it as clean and as fast as possible. Make it look like a spectacle, like Sammy's going to do it to give Braun that moment. Because the montages years from now isn't going to care that we all knew that it was going to happen. And it was kind of annoying that it didn't happen earlier. And then let's see what the hell's going on with Sammy, because obviously they teased the Sammy and Jay. Mm-hmm. They did the handshake. Everyone's heart was warm. Like, let's see how this develops into what it develops. But yeah, it's kind of disappointing. I'm getting bummed as we do this preview, man. I'm not gonna lie, man.
Well, I have two final matches here. I'm going to start with the main event first because I'm ending with the one that I'm the most excited about here. The main event is going to be Cody Rhodes defending, and I'm not calling it the Undisputed WWE Championship anymore. It's just going to be Malcolm, stop it. I haven't even gotten there yet.
I'm sorry.
The WWE Championship, Pastor Cody Rhodes defending against the fake Wish.com tribal chief, Solo Sikoa. He is. He's Wish.com. He wants to be Roman.
Watch your mouth.
I'm going to take his disrespect. Watch your mouth.
Yeah, watch your mouth.
So where do we sit on this? I know where I'm sitting at. Adrian, we'll start with you, and then we'll go with Malcolm, who has already given away his prediction, but let's see.
No, start with Liam. Don't put me on the hot seat like this.
Liam, where are you at then? All right. Where are you at, Liam?
There's no world in which Solo Sikoa wins this championship, and that's not even a disrespect to, you know, the weekend cosplayer that's leading the bloodline right now.
Watch your mouth.
The reality is the future of the bloodline should not revolve around the WWE championship. It is such a luxury now to have a title that can like exist on its own and create its own programs, and a faction that used that title for 4 years to elevate itself to a point where that faction can main event pay-per-views. There we go. That's actually something I want to see. Shout out my guy. That's
right. Shout out to Omos
Nigerian
in the chat.
Giant, baby. He's the one who should be Cody, not Solo Sikoa. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked.
Sorry.
So Solo bringing the title back into the bloodline, I think, brings out the worst of the bloodline going forward. I don't want Roman to return and chase Solo for the title. Right. I want Roman to return for revenge on the bloodline rather than pursuing championships. I feel like that stage of Roman's career was awesome, but it needs to be in the rear view now. So now he can focus 100% on storylines and doing something we've wanted to see him do for over a decade, or what the company has wanted to see him do for over a decade, which is be this fully fledged babyface that the crowd is genuinely behind. And you don't need a title to do that. So Cody should retain. There will be shenanigans, and I hope the Roman return happens after the pinfall. Cody wins, bloodline attack, head of the table hits.
All right, Adrian, your turn now. Where are you at?
It's just very hard for me to imagine like that there's not going to be any shenanigans during the match. And it's kind of disappointing on like, Cody can stand on his own, and this belt can be completely like, it doesn't have to be involved, because if Roman comes and saves him, kind of corny in my opinion. Like, Cody shouldn't need that. I get that that's kind of the story they've been telling, as they've took out Randy one week and they've took out KO the other week. I think Cody wins. And that's the only thing I'm positive about, because there's so many different theories that like make sense. Like Roman coming in, but being like the nice guy and following along until he can like genuinely screw him in a moment of like they thought that he was in, and him acknowledging, like, that's fascinating to me. These different like turns that they can make are fascinating. I just don't want it that Roman has to help Cody, because that kind of lessens Cody. And yeah, that's all I got. I got Cody winning somehow.
Malcolm, I know you want Solo Sikoa, man, because you are an honorary member of the bloodline, I hear. Is that accurate? You are an honorary member of the bloodline. What are you where you're at? I know what's going on with you, man. What are you thinking here?
Really threw me off with the Akira out. That was
Could you imagine? The fucking place would burn to the ground.
He's not Samoan. So he does not
running down, cashing in a fucking money in the bank briefcase.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He's not Samoan. So, I mean, let's talk about what's actually going to happen. And that's going to be our tribal chief. Do you acknowledge, Adam? Yes? No?
Not the weekend.
You're an idiot.
Not the weekday,
Adrian?
rather. The weekday.
You acknowledge?
Yeah, my headphones aren't working right now.
Yeah,
You're crazy. Liam, which way are you? This way?
Not that fake ass Solo Sikoa.
Wow. Okay. All right. Cool. Whatever. I hear a lot of fake in this chat, right? And that's fine. You know, there's a lot of fake people in the world. I'll be the real that prevails. Solo Sikoa will be our undisputed WWE World Heavyweight Champion, whatever you call the belt nowadays. Here's 5 reasons. He's Samoan, right?
Okay.
He's our tribal chief, right? I woke up and acknowledged him, so that's another one. Jacob Fatu, that's 4, right? And the last one, Polynesian. That's why.
I'm sorry, Adam, but it's very rare that we actually get an inside source to those. Like, can you call Zilla? Call some, but tell us what's happening. Stop making a prediction. Tell us what's happening.
I do know what's happening. I actually know what's happening.
Call Lance.
Will be our WWE champion.
Malcolm, I think Samoan spiked your prime, man.
Yeah.
You're talking very loopy right now.
There's no thumbs in my throat.
You're out of control. You're out of control, Malcolm. This is crazy.
In my throat.
Speaking, gentlemen, of out of control, this match I have been waiting for since the Royal Rumble. It's
Solo Sikoa?
Stop this madness. Stop it right now. Next, he's going to hit us with the Solo Sikoa and Omos and a Braun Panties match for the Divas Championship.
Oh, boy.
So, Chick Magnet, CM Punk, cleared to return to the ring in his first singles match on WWE programming since 2014 against Mr. Ass Billy Gunn, fighting Drew McIntyre in a singles match with Seth Franklin Rollins as the guest referee. I guess is that his name? Franklin? Freaking? I don't know. Sure. Liam, I'm going to start with you because I really want to take a little bit of time on this with the remaining time we have left. Liam, let's start with you. Where are you at on Punk and Drew?
Well, I'm glad you brought up that fun statistic because I know that one as well. Like, I went back on Cage Match, saw CM Punk's last televised singles match in WWE was against Billy Gunn on the Monday Night Raw before Royal Rumble 2014. Super random.
Crazy.
This match, this is the definition of big fight feel. Like, it is so rare we get the slow burn builds to a wrestling match in the 21st century. Like, the last time I can remember a match taking this long to happen was Rock Cena 1 from like 2011 into 2012. And that was by design. This was by circumstance. Punk got hurt and they found a way to you throw me off, Malcolm. they found a way to maximize on Punk being hurt, keeping the storyline relevant. Also, like, props to Punk for showing up for work too. Like, he could have easily sat out for 7 months and built the feud on social media, or, you know, he's not even a big social media guy these days anymore. They could have just had Drew carry the load, and he was constantly showing up. He was at a Raw in Hartford that I was at not too long ago. He was showing up on the SmackDowns in Chicago and, you know, Clash of the Castle, all that kind of stuff. I'm super hyped going into this match. Drew should kill him. I am so fed up with the babyface heel dynamic of this feud. CM Punk is the heel. He has screwed over Drew so much more than Drew ever screwed him over. And also, it was an accident. It was a Future Shock DDT. Brother, you tore your triceps on his signature move. It wasn't even his finisher. A signature move that targets your head and neck, and you tore your triceps. And you've screwed him over Raw after Mania in the number 1 contender match. Mania itself lost the title. Clash at the Castle and Money in the Bank. That's 4-1. And it's not even close in terms of comparing the two. Drew's not going to win, though, because Punk's going to get the first victory. Then they're going to do a triple threat at Bash in Berlin. And I think the big blow-off is the Hell in a Cell match at Bad Blood.
Right.
But I just hope this feud, from an in-ring standpoint, starts off super hot and has me as fired up as I am now with the result of the first match. I don't care if they continue to piss me off with the booking. That gets me more invested. Yeah. And I hope it just crescendos and crescendos until Bad Blood, and we get what should be one of the best Hell in a Cell matches of the modern era.
Adrian, I want to mention this because on your subtitle there, it says Kendrick killed Drake, which is factually accurate, sir. What do you think the over-under is on CM Punk coming out to Euphoria by Kendrick Lamar as an extra level of being the biggest hater of 2024?
I'm going to go with like 5%, only because Cult of Personality re-upped and did a new version before Survivor Series. So you got to get them coins up. You know what I'm saying? At any cost. Someone could put that on YouTube. I love the idea, and that would be amazing, though.
Public Enemies podcast. Public Enemies, guys. I'm right now. Mark it down, guys. As soon as he comes out, we got to get this done.
I think Punk should win. Come on, man. He's the reason he's selling tickets, bro. He's top guy. Very few people can do the things that he's done without even wrestling. This is insane. It is the most like intriguing matchup on the card. He hasn't wrestled in a one-on-one match in how many years? It's fascinating. I think Punk should win. I love the dynamic of Drew. Like, he doesn't win, and it keeps driving him crazy and crazy and crazy and crazy. And now they have the little buffer of Seth is there for a little bit of shenanigans, and then we can do a triple threat, and then we can do a Hell in a Cell, and we can see how long this can last. There's a lot of different dynamics. Props to both of them for the way that they've told the story. They've used what they've earned, meaning, like, what I'm trying to say is that, like, Drew being as smart as can be and taking a picture with Jack and posting that, even if he deleted it, it doesn't matter. As long as it's on the internet, it exists forever. And, like, I don't think 5 or 7, 8 years ago, Drew would have done something like that.
Right.
But for him to know, for Punk to know, like, no, the more hype, the messier this can look, the better it is for business. So salute them for what they're showing, because it's been incredible. But I do think Punk wins. They give him the fairy tale dub. It's not even fairy tale. I don't think it's going to be clean either way. No. I think there's going to be Seth's going to screw one of them on accident, like a true accident, and the other one will end up winning, in my opinion. I think it'll be Punk.
To your point, though, I feel like we're going to get the Undertaker, Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart finish. Well, I can't remember that. Was that WrestleMania? Was it WrestleMania 12, or was it one of the SummerSlams? Shawn Michaels is the guest referee.
Something in '97.
I can't remember exactly which event it was, but he hits Undertaker with the chair, knocks him out cold. Bret Hart gets the win. I think that's exactly what they're going to play back here at SummerSlam. Malcolm, where do you sit with this? Where are you feeling?
You know, I don't really watch matches that don't involve Polynesian men.
Oh my God.
I mean, I guess if I'm watching this, like, if I have no choice because I'm like waiting for Solo to become the undisputed WWE champion, we the ones, like baby. That's my tribal chief.
Why are you like this?
Thank you, Solo. Thank you for giving me life and breakfast this morning. But moving on, I think Drew McIntyre has to win. I think it's an utter like burial destruction. I think he does everything possible to make that man embarrassed. I think he attempts to rip his tricep out of his arm. I think Seth Rollins joins in. I think they just start whooping him both in the middle of the ring. They just beat him down 10 minutes flat, and then he wins. That's it. And then we go to the Polynesians. When Solo Sikoa becomes our undisputed WWE Universal whatever Divas champion.
Why are you the way you are? Why?
Hey, shout out Lance on Hawaii. Shout out Lance.
Yeah, shout out to Lance on Hawaii. Is that Big Cass? That is big. That's Big Cass.
Morrissey.
It's Big Cass.
Morrissey.
I know that
Bill.
I know that I'm excited for this match. I think Punk is going to win this one, and I do agree that the Hell in a Cell at Bad Blood is going to be fucking phenomenal. It's going to be hopefully gory and bloody as shit and craziest match possible. Very excited for this, guys. I appreciate you joining me for this preview event. And one thing I wanted to mention, I know we're running short on time here, but again, Liam, I wanted to give you just briefly a moment here to talk about your thoughts on Robert Downey Jr. as Dr. Doom in the new Marvel Cinematic Universe, just as briefly as possible.
Man, I'm conflicted, and I'll keep it as brief as this. It feels like it obviously wasn't the plan originally, because the Kang Dynasty and the Jonathan Majors variable, that was what Avengers 5 was going to be. So bringing in Robert Downey Jr. feels like the pro wrestling classic. We had something, stuff fell through. We need to make the replacement better than the original so people forget about the original. I think of Bray Wyatt versus Finn Balor at TLC when Bray Wyatt got sick, so they brought in AJ Styles to do like the Bullet Club thing. I think of Rock versus Roman, where people were like, we wanted the Cody story more, and then they slide in the Cody story, and we get that amazing WrestleMania moment with all the legends coming back to help Cody. So with that in mind, AJ versus Finn banged, Cody versus Roman banged, Robert Downey replacing could bang, but I'm a little conflicted because I really want to see the Kang story.
Yeah.
We'll see how it plays out. But either way, Marvel, movies, it's all pro wrestling at the end of the day.
I want to thank you guys for joining me today on the SummerSlam preview. And don't forget, you can catch each one of us having our own coverage. 3 of us from Cleveland, 1 remote. Wishing he will be there. Liam, you will be missed this weekend. But, guys, I want to give each of you, I'm going to go around the circle here. Adrian, Malcolm, Liam, let us know where you can follow you on social media, where you can keep up to date with all the coverage you have coming for SummerSlam, and how they can keep up to date with your work.
You can follow me Instagram and TikTok at Heavyweight Radio, YouTube, Adrian, ADRIANCLE93. And as I have everyone here, Adam, Liam, Malcolm, for a whole bunch of different reasons. Thank you guys for the inspiration on the content that I do to make sure that I'm at the top of my game, because you guys are always at the top of your game. Because I just hit 25K, and the next milestone is going to be Malcolm, who's about to hit 50K.
Woof. Man, dude.
And he's in. I don't think you guys understand. He's done this. He's in the family. His homies are about to be the new tribal chiefs. You know who they're going to want to talk to? Not Liam. Not Adam. They're going to want to talk to Malcolm. So, Malcolm, I see the vision and I see what you're doing. So, salute to you, Liam, Adam. Thank you guys for having me, and thank you guys for what you do.
I appreciate that. Thank you so much, man. That's very kind of you. Malcolm, where can they stay up today? You got a big match coming up there with Highest Pound. Is that his name now?
I call him Big Bitch, but yeah, that works too. Yeah. So, guys, my name's Malcolm. I'm a cool guy, named after Malcolm X, of course. I'm not in the middle of anything, except for these numbers are always rising. You can follow me on Instagram at Malcolm Muscle, YouTube MuscleManMalcolm. I got a big match coming up, me versus Big Bitch, AJ Francis, formerly known as Top Dollar, until he got released twice. I'm going to beat him. I'm going to bring my hands, my feet, and if that doesn't work, I got the blicky on me. Battle Club, SummerSlam 4, Brooklyn, New York, August 24th, Kobe Day. So please come out.
He's going to catch him with the Mousker tool at the event. So, Liam, where you at, man? Where can everybody keep up to date with you, sir?
Well, I'm happy to say I will be a Brooklyn resident by the time Malcolm's match comes around. So I'll be in the crowd supporting my boy. We the ones, but only for my man Malcolm. You can find me on all socials at Liam T. Crowley, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Most active on TikTok. A lot of new fun interview clips always dropping on my Instagram page. Did I say most active on TikTok? I meant to say most active on Instagram. Most active there. A lot of interview clips. And I'll give you a Foundation Radio exclusive right now, dropping next week after SummerSlam. One of my biggest interviews to date. I'll have some clips on my Instagram with the one, the only, Big Match John Cena.
What? Oh. Holy shit, man. Holy shit. Good for you, man. Can't wait to see that one. Please do yourself a favor. Follow Liam right now. Keep up to date with that. Thank you for the exclusive. I appreciate you gentlemen so much. All of you, to Adrian's point here as well, you guys inspire me to do the best content possible. I'm always watching you guys and following and keeping up to date with what you're doing, so that way I can stay at the top of my game. And I appreciate you guys being here, being my colleagues and my creator friends here. Don't forget to follow me, Instagram, where I'm also most active, Twitter, because I'm never fucking calling it X, TikTok and Threads. This is Goober. Yes, it's my handle. No, I'm not changing it. It's a brand pal. You can follow me there. Don't forget to listen to Mind of the Meanie and subscribe down below here, youtube.com/@FoundationRadioPod. Shout out to the homies at the 10th Ward Barbershop as well. Adrian Hernandez, MuscleManMalcolm, Liam Crowley. Thank you all so much for being here. I appreciate you. My name is Adam Barnard. Don't forget, we will see you this weekend in Cleveland, Ohio. Peace.
You the ones, baby. You the ones, baby.
Foundation Radio is hosted, recorded, and produced by Adam Barnard. Additional narration and production is provided by the executive voice, Sam Krepps. Our mixing and engineering was done by Pannell. Our intro and outro music is performed by Dumb Ugly. Additional musical accompaniment is performed and produced by Enrichment. Our cover art photography was done by Dylan Eddinger. Follow Adam on Instagram and Twitter, or X or whatever, at This Is Goober, and follow the show on Twitter, again, not calling it X, at FND Radio Pod. Find the entire show archive at foundationradio.net. This has been a Butts Carlton media production, Butts Carlton, Proprietor.
That doesn't work for me, brother. Peace, Carl!